and welcome back to the final installment of our Fall Reset series. Today, we're going to be talking about relationships. And this one, you don't want to miss this one. And when we're talking about relationships, we're not only talking about the relationships that we have with others, but we first have to look at the relationship that we have with ourselves. So for those of you who are new here, I am Jocelyn. I'm a relationship and leadership development coach and consultant. And those are the things that we talk about here. We talk about personal and professional development, lifestyle, and just growth. And today we're going to focus on relationships because if we want to grow, if we're going to prepare for the things that we're praying for, we have to make sure that we are surrounded by people who are faithful, who are full of faith, and who are not trying to be negative or bring us down. And not saying that we don't want people in our lives who give us constructive criticism, but we don't want negative Nancy's or people who don't believe that they can have anything in their lives, so they definitely can't see it for you. So they're going to discourage you from going after the things that God has said is for you. So let's talk about relationships. Number one, we're going to talk about our relationship with ourselves. It is a good time to do an inventory of what it is that you believe. What are your beliefs? What are your values? Do you have a personal mission statement that helps to guide you when you get into difficult situations? Do you have a scripture that guides you, that keeps you grounded when life storms just come? Because, honey, they gonna come. Trust me, I have been through some of life storms recently, and I'm just like, oh my goodness. But I make sure that I stay grounded in my faith, and I make sure that I have a great relationship with myself, because I can only give from an overflow place, and so can you. We can only give from what we have, right? So if you're feeling empty, if you're feeling lonely, if you are feeling like nobody cares, you're not going to care about anybody else either. So that's why it's so important for you to focus on a relationship that you have with yourself. Do you take care of yourself mentally, spiritually, physically, emotionally? We have to take a look at those things. And if you are lacking in an area, that is where you need to put your focus. So now is the perfect time for you to take inventory on how it is that you treat yourself. Number two is to take an inventory of the top 5 people who are influential in your life. You hear that it's the person or the people that you spend the most time with, which is true. People that we spend the most time with will influence us, whether we believe so or not. They will either influence you to do well or they'll influence you to do bad. So you have to take an inventory of those people. What are they influencing you to do? What are they influencing you to become? We want to make sure that we're pouring into relationships that are pouring into us, because we want the relationships to be reciprocal. We don't want to just have someone keep pouring into us and we don't give to them. But we also don't want to keep pouring into relationships that aren't fruitful, aren't going anywhere. The people won't change. They have no type of growth. They're not trying to go, especially if you are in a growth season. You want to surround yourself with people who can influence you and motivate you to do the right things. So taking an inventory of those relationships are so important. I was just talking to my husband the other day about influence, because when we're growing up, we're trying to fit in sometimes, and we're really trying to find who we are and who ourselves are. And when we find out who we are, we want to surround ourselves with people who will help us to grow even more into that person that God has created us to be. And we also want our children to know that it is okay for them to be themselves. If you are around someone who doesn't want you to be yourself, then what are they here for? We want to come away from people pleasing and trying to make people feel comfortable around us. If we can't be ourselves and grow, then who else can we be? Because online, we see a lot of people who are being influenced by the same thing. Like I kind of complain to my husband about this whole aesthetic thing, that when you're on YouTube, you see people and everybody's house look the same, and they have couches that you can't sit on, but yeah, you got 5 kids. Like, that doesn't seem realistic to me. But everything in your house is stark white. Like, who cleaning that? Now, if you got a maid, hey, more power to you. But realistic living, I want my home to be homey. I'm not saying that it should be junky or dirty or anything like that, but it should feel comfortable and it shouldn't just look like something out of Better Homes and Gardens. But anyway, that's just a short rant. But back to relationships, we really want to focus on what relationships need to fall off. If there have been people in your life that you have continuously poured into and it's not being fruitful, they don't want to change, especially if you change. Say that you stop drinking, you stop smoking, you can't continue to be around people who do those things and feel and have a mindset of that it's okay that I just want to stay here. If they want to stay there, that's fine. But if you want to grow, you have to now surround yourself with people who can have an enjoyable time without drinking and smoking. You know what I mean? So take an inventory of your relationships. Lastly is work relationships. Who are your allies on your job or within your business? Who are the people that can support you to help you to grow in your business and grow on your job? We all need people that we can talk to and not just complain with. We don't need complaining partners, even though that's kind of fun sometimes because sometimes you just need to vent. But you do need people on your job who can encourage you, who can ally with you and help advocate for you on your job. So make sure that you're nurturing these relationships as well. They don't have to become best friends or anything like that, but you do need a support system on your job as well. So make sure that you are investing in your work relationships. And even when it comes to your clients, if you have clients and you are a business owner and you have clients that you're working with, make sure that you're going above and beyond for your clients. Make sure that you're giving them a little something extra. I always like to think to give above what people have asked for because that's what I would expect in return. Even though, it's not necessarily something that you should expect, but it's always good to give people more than they expected. It excites them. It lets them know that you care about them and you care about the relationship when you do a little bit extra. So make sure that you're investing in your clients and make sure you're investing back into those who are investing in you. Just like you, my subscribers, I love to pour into you all. And I'm hoping that everything that I share with you is helpful, that you actually apply it to your life because this channel is all about implementation. I'm not just showing you how to live this life. I want you to go out and live it. I want you to be fulfilled in everything that you do, that you have a life of enjoyment and joy because there's so many people out here who are not enjoying their lives, or online they appear to be, but deep down they're just faking it for the aesthetic. They're just faking it for the people. But honey, we real around here, okay? Real life happens and we need to know, how do we get through real life? How do we get through real life with enjoyment and joy and feeling encouraged and being encouraged so that we can overflow into the lives of others? And that's what this channel is all about. So I hope that that is what you are getting from this channel. So make sure that you're not just watching these tips, but you're also taking them to heart and taking what is good for you so that you can benefit from it and you can enlarge your territory and enlarge your life in so much joy. So I hope that these tips were helpful today. Subscribe to the channel if you aren't subscribed. We still have a goal of 200 subscribers. So make sure that you're sharing this video with those who can benefit from it. And don't forget to like the video. Thank you all for the views. I appreciate it, but make sure that you're liking it as well so we can tell YouTube to push these videos out so that more people can be blessed. Okay. I love you guys to life. I hope you have an awesome week and I will see you on the next video. Bye.